Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2015 WPIAL.
A pleasant good evening and welcome to Fox Chapel Area High School in Fox Chapel, Pennsylvania, usually home of the Fox Chapel Foxes, but tonight it's home to the WPIAL Quad A Semi-Finals between the top-seeded Woodland Hills Wolverines and the fifth-seeded Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. Woodland Hills 11-0 on the season. Central Catholic 10-1 on the year. Woodland Hills, the champions out of the Southeastern Conference, while Pittsburgh Central Catholic, the tri-champs out of the Northern 8. Their lone loss on the year came in Week 3 against North Allegheny, but they avenged that loss last Friday night with a 31-17 victory against the Tigers at North Hills High School in the WPIAL quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Woodland Hills advanced to the WPIAL semifinals with a 40-20 victory against Bethel Park at West Mifflin. The last time these two teams met was last year in the WPIAL quarterfinals, and it was a 28-0 victory for the Vikings at North Allegheny. The last time Woodland Hills defeated Pittsburgh Central Catholic was in 2009 in the WPIAL quarterfinals, a 36-3 win for the Wolverines en route to their fifth WPIAL championship. Woodland Hills 10-14 all-time in WPIAL semifinals, including 10 of 11 wins since 1996. And Fred, this ought to be a great football game between two of the top teams in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, both these teams are very evenly matched. Kind of impressed with the size of Central Catholic, especially on their defensive line, sporting 300-pound guys along the defensive front. Really good linebackers and a tremendous secondary.
Woodland Hills, obviously, the concern is Central Catholic. They've got a talented defense. Are they going to stack the box and try to force Woodland Hills to pass the football? Something they haven't done a whole heck of a lot this season. Just 500 yards for Cooper.
And the Wolverines actually, they have a couple options in terms of offensive setup. They can run the double tights and try to run at Central Catholic. Like I said, their front seven is probably as big as Woodland Hills has seen all season long. But then again, they could spread out the Vikings, maybe put Miles Sanders into the receiving formation and maybe throw him a couple passes during the game.
Now, conversely, Pittsburgh Central Catholic, they also tend to run the ball a good bit, though they do have a more potent passing game than Woodland Hills has had through the first 11 games of the year.
Yeah, Central Catholic sports two really good running backs. Ronnie Jones and Vinny Emanuel both have combined for close to 2,000 yards this season. But then again, Central Catholic does have a potent passing game. The quarterback only a sophomore, but still has well over 1,000 yards passing and hasn't thrown an interception all season. So he's very efficient with the ball.
We'll set the scene for the folks on the radio side. Along the near sideline are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. They wear their home black jerseys, the white pants, turquoise numerals with the white trim, and the turquoise helmets with the black ears and stripes. On the far sideline are the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. They wear their road whites, white jerseys, white pants, blue numerals with the yellow gold trim, and blue helmets with the Viking horn emblazoned upon both sides of the helmet. Good to have you along with us all across the Woodland Hills Football Network for this big WPIAL Quad A semifinal matchup. Along the near sideline, the only coach Woodland Hills has ever known, George Novak, 29 years as the head man for the Wolverines, and across the field, Terry Totten leads the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. Team captains headed out to the middle of the field for the coin toss for this WPIAL semifinal matchup. And Fred, over the years, think about the games that Woodland Hills has played against Central Catholic, whether it was in our day when we played for the Wolverines or after that, the big game that went into multiple overtimes and Austin Novak kicked a field goal to win the game in I don't know, the third overtime in a packed house at the Wolverina. The WPIAL quarterfinals back in 2009, the finals in 2013, the quarterfinals last year. There have been some great matchups between these two teams.
Yeah, it's been a historic rivalry ever since day one for Woodland Hills. Every time that Central Catholic and Woodland Hills gets together, it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Again, the Wolverines and the Central Catholic Vikings here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Good to have you along with us no matter where you're joining us from across the globe. Hopefully we will be able to bring you the radio broadcast of next week's WPIAL Finals, but there is 48 minutes of football to see if the Wolverines or the Central Catholic Vikings head back to the WPIAL Championship game next Saturday at the home of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, Woodland Hills taking on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings in the semifinals. packed house, especially on the far sideline, as Central Catholic fills up the visitors' side. Of course, a huge crowd on the near side as well, supporting the Woodland Hills Wolverines, who again are playing in their 15th WPIAL semifinal. And the Woodland Hills School District, amazingly, just 29 years old, and Woodland Hills is making their 15th appearance in the semifinals. Woodland Hills will kick off to begin the football game. Thomas Sullivan Folia, the senior kicker in his first year for the Wolverines, will boot it away. 2 Vikings stand back at the 5-yard line to return. Sullivan Folia kicking right to left across your radio dial, internet browser, computer screen, or television screen. Ronnie Jones stands back along the near hash, and he's joined by Ronald George on the far hash to return this kickoff. And we are underway in Fox Chapel, PA. A high-hanging kick that'll be returned by an up man from the 25-yard line. And the Vikings off to the races. Uh-oh, this could be trouble. Ronald George down the near boundary, and he will return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. A high kick to the short return man, and he takes it back 75 yards for the TD.
Yeah, I thought Ronald George was one of the deep men when you first called that out, but Sullivan Folia did a great job of putting the ball very high, giving his defenders some time to get underneath the kick to possibly bring in a tackle, but George did a great job of just finding one lane, and once he exploited it, man, he was gone.
Yeah, off to the races went George. There was a back down there along the far hash. I thought it was number 2, but it turned out to not be number 2. Instead, it was George, one of the up men who did return that kick from the 25-yard line for the 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And Woodland Hills now trail Central Catholic 7-0, just 11 seconds into this football game. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown for Ronald George to begin the football game, and Woodland Hills trails Central Catholic 7-0. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you, and certainly an inauspicious start for the Wolverines as George had a hole up the middle and just took it to the nearest sideline unscathed, not a hand on him, as he returns the opening kickoff, and Woodland Hills has a hole to dig out of early.
Yeah, and Adam, I believe that's the first kickoff return this season that Woodland Hills has allowed for a touchdown.
You are correct. I don't think Woodland Hills has allowed any special teams touchdowns this season. And Jacob Bracci will kick it away, setting the ball at the left hash. Back deep to return for Woodland Hills, Sanders and Dunn. And the ball will carry down the near side where it'll be returned from the 10-yard line. It's Jaymond Dunn. He's going to bounce it far side. And Jaymond Dunn may be off to the races. He'll lower his shoulder and he'll be brought down shy of the 40-yard line. And here comes the Woodland Hills offense after a pretty nice return for Jaymond Dunn. So special teams flares by both teams to begin this football game.
Yeah, it's not a touchdown, but Jaymond Dunn did a great job of boosting the confidence of the Wolverines coming off the sideline. Just did a great job of really seeing the opening to the right-hand side after he was pretty much contained, but bounced it out to the right-hand side and picked up some good yards to start the drive.
11:37 to go here in quarter number 1. Woodland Hills trailing 7-0. Shotgun formation, trips left. One receiver to the short side right. Cooper sidecar to his right. He'll hand off. Joel Shaw bouncing it to the near side. He'll pick up a yard before being dumped to the turf. Couple of Vikings there, and you know, Fred, we talked about it already. The Vikings defense very, very potent as they have 8 players with multiple Division I offers.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Looking at their stats and also looking at the size of some of these guys along the front 7. You know, you have 3 defensive tackles that are at close to 300 pounds. One's at 370, and then your linebackers, the 2 in the middle, go 230 and 225 respectively.
Cooper sends Sanders in motion from left to right. He'll take the handoff on the jet sweep. Miles looks to turn the corner. He's across the 40, the 45 to the 50, and he's inside of Vikings territory where he will be brought down at the 46-yard line. It's a Woody High first down.
You know, Adam, watching the game last week of NA and Central Catholic, I thought defensively Central Catholic was a little sloppy against NA. NA was able to spread out the defense and pretty much run the ball against this defense, which is pretty much unheard of. But Miles Sanders did a great job. He picked up some nice blocking on the edge from Joel Shaw, among others, and then picked up the first down.
They mark Sanders down at the 47-yard line, so it's a 13-yard pickup for the future Penn State Nittany Lion. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side left. Cooper again in the shotgun. Sidecar to his left-hand side is Shaw. And it was not Cooper at quarterback. Instead, it was Sanders, as Woodland Hills was in the Wildcat, and the Wolverines are guilty of a delay of game. And instead of 1st and 10 inside of Vikings territory, it'll be 1st and 15 from the Woody High 48-yard line.
And that's where Coach Novak really needs to kind of step up a little bit, get the plays called in a little bit faster, and let these guys run the offense.
So Woodland Hills facing a 1st and 15. 10:05 to play. In quarter number 1, Woodland Hills trailing 7-0. Handoff, Joel Shaw running right. He'll drive the ball to the midfield stripe, and he'll be driven down at that point. A pickup of 2, and it is 2nd down and 13 for the Wolverines.
And Joel Shaw just really coming from his left sidecar position, came to the right-hand side, tried to pick up as much yardage as he could. Again, it's going to be tough going against this defensive line for Central Catholic.
So make it a pickup of 3 for Joel Shaw as he carries it inside of the 50 to the 49-yard line. And Shaw now 2 carries for 4 yards. Sanders, the quarterback in the Wildcat. 2 receivers right. Miles, he's going to carry it left. Cuts it upfield. Driving his way forward, he'll get back to about the 47, maybe the 46. It'll be 3rd and long for the Wolverines, making a gain of 2, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and both lines right now are playing very well. Woodland Hills is able to get a hat on the hat, but Central Catholic really keeps breaking through, getting some good penetration, and limiting Sanders and Shaw so far in this game.
Ball initially spotted at the 47. They'll move it up to the 46, where it's 3rd down and 9 for the Wolverines. That last carry for Miles Sanders, a pickup of 3. He has 16 yards on a pair of carries. Cooper, the quarterback, trips to the right. Sidecar to his right is Shaw. Coop looks right, throws right, and the pass intended for a wide-open Jaymond Dunn is over his left shoulder. No, that's Wynn out there, and the pass incomplete, and it is 4th down and 9, and the punt unit has to come on.
And I don't think Central Catholic was really ready for that pass. I mean, it looked like Wynn and even Miles Sanders on his little curl route on the outside seemed to be wide open. I don't understand why Coop didn't hit Sanders in the flats, because I thought he probably would have been able to pick up the 1st down if the pass was completed.
Punt unit on for Woodland Hills. 3 personal protectors for Thomas Sullivan-Folia. Good snap, and Sullivan-Folia gets it away. A boomer that'll carry down inside of the 15. Take a Woodland Hills bounce out of bounds along the near boundary at the 14-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. And the score remains 7-0. Central Catholic leading Woodland Hills.
And now we get to see our first look at the Central Catholic offense, much heralded throughout the newspapers and the media as being one of the best in the WPIAL, and certainly they are if they're in the WPIAL Semi-Finals, but they certainly, I don't think, have faced a defense of this caliber of the Woodland Hills defense.
1st and 10 for the Vikings, just shy of the 15-yard line. It's a shotgun for Troy Fisher. He's all by himself back there. Tight end, motioning from right to left. The snap is low. Fisher has to scoop it up, and he will be swallowed up inside of the 10 at the 8-yard line. It's a loss of about 7 yards on the play, and Fisher nearly lost the football as Joel Shaw was closing in.
And Fisher did a great job of actually covering up the football, because you're in that type of situation. The ball's pretty much in your in the shadows of your own goalpost. Definitely had to make a split decision to cover the ball up.
A wing to the left-hand side of Fisher, who will step under center with a 1 back behind him. He'll hand off Tailback running to the left-hand side is Ronnie Jones, and he will be swallowed up in the backfield. Another loss, this time inside of the 5 around the 4-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Vikings.
A great job of the defensive line of not getting overzealous, trying to break through as that ball was going to the left-hand side of the Central Catholic offense. Really strung out the play, and the rest of the Wolverines came up to clean it up.
Troy Fisher stepping under center. One back set, one receiver left. Wing to the right and 2 receivers to the right as well. Handoff will go to Ronnie Jones, and he'll drive his way forward, and he'll be brought down shy of the 10-yard line at around the 9. It's a pickup of 5, and it is 4th down and 16.
And I think they were just running that play so the punter wouldn't stand in his own end zone, because Woodland Hills did a great job on that series of really shutting down the running game of Central Catholic.
So Jaymond Dunn and Miles Sanders on to return the punt. Viking punter stands in his own end zone, about 3 yards away from the end line. Snap a bit low, but Woodland Hills not pressuring the punt too much, and they'll throw a flag as some good acting by the punter. And if this is roughing the punter, it's egregious. If it's running into the punter, I think it's pretty valid. Saeed Holt, the guilty party, and it will be the personal foul and the roughing the kicker. I don't agree with that one at all. Saeed Holt lost his balance approaching the goal line, fell down to the turf, and Central Catholic has another opportunity here. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Vikings. The football out across the 20 at the 24-yard line.
And that's certainly something you cannot give Central Catholic as a second chance to get on offense. You know, had so much momentum going into that 4th down play, and then just, I guess, an error in judgment, I'm going to say, really cost the Wolverines.
Kind of an iffy one there. I think it probably should have been running into the kicker, but taking a look at the video replay, roughing the kicker wasn't out of line either, as the handoff will go to Ronnie Jones, and Ronnie Jones is met right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 as a massive humanity brings him down. Rodney Denard, amongst others, in on the tackle, and it is 2nd down and 9.
Looks like Peyton Hicks is out there on defense again. Did a great job last week against Bethel Park, and has really stepped up his game over the past couple of weeks, especially on defense.
So 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. 5:40 as the clock rolls here in quarter number 1. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 7-0 after the Vikings return the opening kickoff for a TD. Handoff Jones, he bobbled the handoff. Now he's trying to bounce it to the near side left. He'll be strung out by Miles Sanders, and a pickup of about 3 yards to the 28-yard line, and that brings up 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings are having a really tough time so far in this game of getting their running game started. You know, with the exception of that 3rd down play in the last set of downs, really haven't picked up that much yards so far in this game.
Troy Fisher will step under center with an offset eye backfield behind him. One receiver to the far side left, tight ends to either side. Receiver motioning towards the formation. Fisher off of play action. He'll look left the whole way. He throws it down the middle, and the ball will be incomplete. Well overthrowing the intended receiver down the middle was the quarterback Fisher. The intended receiver was Bryson Garner. And the punt unit will come on again for the Vikings. So the Wolverines, the defense stands strong after the special teams make an error.
And great coverage by Dana Caraway, who just did a great job of really step for step with the Central Catholic wide receiver, and I don't even think if that ball was placed on the target that it would have been a completion.
So Troy Fisher stands this time, instead of in his own end zone, around the 13-yard line. He'll take a couple steps to his right and he'll boom it away. It'll take a bounce to the near boundary in favor of the Central Catholic Vikings, and Woodland Hills 70 yards away from pay dirt as the offense will take the field for the 2nd time today.
30-yard line.
Well, Fred, it's 7-0 Central Catholic leading Woodland Hills. A season ago, we saw virtually a similar story at North Allegheny, where the Vikings scored the opening touchdown on a punt return for a touchdown, and then that same young man also had a pick six for the Vikings.
And I think this is totally a different team, different situation, especially at the quarterback position. When you have a quarterback who isn't afraid to throw the ball in Cooper, obviously we saw that in the first series, so we'll just see what happens as the first quarter unwinds.
So first down and 10 for the Wolverines. As Sanders motions from left to right, the handoff instead will go to Joel Shaw. He'll lower his shoulder, get to the line of scrimmage, and no further. And a gain, or no gain on the play, brings up second down and 10. Joel Shaw, 3 carries, 4 yards today. He's certainly having his struggles springing free after rushing for well over the century mark last week.
Yeah, and he's going to have to understand that these Central Catholic Vikings are some short tacklers. They've done a great job so far this season in terms of defense, and when you have that much talent on that side of the ball, things aren't going to come the easy way for sure.
Trips left, one receiver to the short side right as the ball sets on the right hash. Cooper in the shotgun with Shaw to his left-hand side. Coop drops back, looks left, now he'll step forward. He's across the 30, out towards the 35-yard line where he is undercut by Gustav Farad, and had it not been for that tackle by Farad, I think Cooper would have the first down, if not a lot more.
Yeah, and what I don't like from Cooper at this moment, especially with him carrying the ball, is the fact that he keeps it so far away from his body. He really needs to tuck the ball in, especially when he's about to incur on some contact. But again, nice pickup by Coop, putting Woodland Hills in a more manageable situation on third down.
Third down and 10, or rather third down and 5 for Woodland Hills as the ball again on the right hash. Twins to either side, Cooper in the shotgun, and Coach Novak needs to use a timeout as there was just 1 second to go on the play clock. That'll give us a chance to take a breather as well. 3:40 to play in quarter number 1. It's Central Catholic 7, Woodland Hills 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WH Football Network, for videos of the Wolverines all season long. And we have archived videos dating back several years of our coverage of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. It's 7-0 Central Catholic leading Woodland Hills. The Wolverines facing a third down and 5, the ball at their own 35-yard line. Cooper in the shotgun, twins to either side. And flags come in. And I think Woodland Hills may have moved just a hair early, and this could back Woodland Hills up 5 yards. And a false start against the Wolverines is going to cost them 5 yards.
Remains third down.
It's 3rd and 10 now for Woody High.
And that's the second pre-snap penalty Woodland Hills has been guilty of. They really need to just stay focused, especially coming out of a timeout. You should know the snap call coming out of that timeout.
So 3rd and 10. There's Cooper in the shotgun, twins to either side. Coop looking left, he's going to step up, coming to the near side. Throws the football, and the pass intended for Miles Sanders, a bit shy on the coverage, is Damar Hamlin. And the incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 10. And so far we have not seen much of an offensive display from either football team today. Our lone big play has been on a 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown for the Foxes, or rather for the Vikings.
But I like the way that Woodland Hills is trying to open up the playbook and get Cooper some passes, calling some specific pass calls. Hasn't been so efficient so far in this game, but at least they're making an effort to open up the playbook.
Sullivan Folia, he'll boom this one away. And it will take a nice Woodland Hills bounce, but return from the 35-yard line. Ronnie Jones on the return, and he'll be brought down across the 40 at the 43-yard line. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Vikings at that point. So 3 consecutive punts, as neither team has been able to do much offensively. The biggest offensive play for either team thus far has been a roughing the punter call against the Wolverines, which gave Central Catholic a 1st down. 3:24 to play here in the first quarter as the Vikings start this drive at their own 43. Shotgun, sidecar to the left-hand side of Troy Fisher. And Fisher's going to run to his left. It will be met at the line of scrimmage, maybe a hair shy of the line of scrimmage. And a gang of Wolverines there, including Amon Baldwin Youngblood, also in on the tackle, Saeed Holt. And a
Tackle made by number 72, Amon Baldwin Youngblood.
short loss on the play, maybe no gain on the play, brings up 2nd down and 10.
No gain on the play.
Fisher, he'll step under center this time with trips to the right, one receiver to the far side left. Ball set on the left hash. The tailback, Vinny Emmanuel. Emmanuel will now shift offset to the right-hand side as Fisher steps back into the shotgun. And now Fisher's going to run to the near side. He'll sidestep a Wolverine for the moment, but Damon Johnson's there to meet him and bring him down. Cleaning up the play was Joel Shaw, but it's a loss of 3, and it is 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, once Fisher saw he had nowhere to go, it almost looked like he tensed up. And then as he tensed up, man, Damon Johnson came through the line of scrimmage and made a nice tackle.
Also in on the tackle, number 23, Diamond Johnson. Loss of 3 yards on the play.
So it's 3rd down and 13 for the Vikings. The ball set at their own 40-yard line along the near hash. Trips to the left. One receiver to the near side right. Fisher, low snap. He'll look right. He's pressured. He's wrapped. He's sacked. Coming in on the blitz was Saeed Holt. And Fisher brought down at the 32-yard line. And it's 4th and long for the Vikings.
And Adam, I would say Saeed Holt atones for that roughing the punter, I should say, penalty on that last play. Just did a great job of coming right off the edge, untouched. And then once he saw he had Fisher in his sights, made a nice form tackle, a secure tackle in the backfield for a loss.
Jaymond Dunn and Miles Sanders back deep to return for Woody High. Fisher to punt it away. He stands at his own 18. 4th and 21 for the Vikings. As Fisher booms this one, and it will carry into the Woodland Hills bench, and it will be shy of the midfield stripe as the official along the near boundary needs to determine where the ball went out of bounds. Inside of the 45, or they'll say he's down at the 45, where it is 1st down and 10 for the Wolverines inside of Vikings territory. Woodland Hills inside of Vikings territory for the 2nd time today.
I thought that might have been a generous spot by the official. I thought he initially stopped at the 50-yard line, which was absolutely crazy because that's where the ball was caught by one of the Wolverines not dressed in uniform tonight.
Today's broadcast brought to you by the Woodland Hills Football Boosters Association. Thank you to their generous donation. Our television broadcast available on all of our TV affiliates and on our YouTube channel.
7, 6, and they're not even set up.
Shotgun, Cooper, he'll hand off. It's Miles Sanders driving his way inside of the 45 to around the 44-yard line, a pickup of just a yard, and it is 2nd down and 9. And Fred Woodland Hills taking a long time to get plays in. That ball was snapped with less than 5 seconds to go on the play clock.
Coach Novak really needs to have plays in mind before, the previous play is already over.
Play run in from the near sideline by receiver Jermaine Wynn. Double tight end set as Stephen Rickard wears 99 tonight, not 67. Twins right, sidecar to the left of Sanders is Shaw. Miles, he's going to keep it himself. He's spinning his way inside of the 40, the 35, the 30, across the 25, and Woodland Hills with a 1st down deep inside of Vikings territory.
Yeah, again, Adam, Miles Sanders has done a great job in the Wildcat throughout the course of his career. He just did it again now. Was able to, nice play fake to Joel Shaw, which brought in the linebackers a little bit. And then once he got to the outside, made a fantastic spin move and made at least 2 or 3 Central Catholic Vikings miss on his way to a 1st down.
21-yard pickup for Miles Sanders. And he now has 38 yards on 4 carries. Miles still in at the Wildcat QB. Shaw, the sidecar to the right, and the double tight end. Miles is going to run right now. He cuts it up inside the 20, and he will be tripped up at the 18-yard line, but still a pretty decent gain of 5, makes it 2nd and 5.
And that's the thing that Miles Sanders possesses that really makes him cut just so far above any other running back in the WPIAL is his vision. He's able to see those cutback lanes, and when he hits those cutback lanes, he really exploits them and gets good yardage.
That is the final play of quarter number 1 Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 7-0, but the Wolverines threatening inside of the Vikings red zone. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Follow the Woodland Hills Football Network on Facebook, facebook.com/Woodland Hills Football Network. Videos and articles about the Wolverines all season and in the offseason, including coverage of Woody High alums, both in the college ranks and in the NFL, including Rontez Miles, who started at safety last Thursday for the New York Jets and had himself a whale of a football game. We talked with Coach Novak about that in the pregame show. Woody High, 2nd down and 5. The ball at the Vikings 18-yard line. Ball set at the left hash. Double tight end formation with 2 receivers to the right. Miles, the quarterback. He'll hand off to Shaw, who runs right. He's got the 1st down and more inside of the 10-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 11, actually, as a nice open field tackle by David Adams prevented a bigger gain for Joel Shaw, but it's still enough for a Woody High 1st down on the pickup of 7.
And a good job of Joel Shaw securing the handoff from Miles Sanders. Looked like it came out, was on his hip, but he was able to pick it up. And then as he picked it up, he had a pulling offensive guard in front of him and really was patient enough to just follow him down inside the 10-yard line, or to the 10-yard line.
Miles still in at QB with Shaw to his left-hand side and twins to the left. Double tight ends. As Miles is going to run, he's hit as he was going to run an end around, and the ball was loose on the carpet. It's still loose, and does Central Catholic get it or not? It will be Vikings football, as the Wolverines were going to run an end around as Jaymond Dunn was running to the near side. Miles was going to pitch it to him. He was hit as he was about to release the football. It came loose, and Central Catholic comes up with it, and that's bad news because the Wolverines' scoring threat is thwarted.
Yeah, I couldn't see from Central Catholic who came in and really read the play very well. And as, like you said, as he was about to pitch the ball to Jaymond Dunn, made contact and jarred the football loose. And, unfortunately for Woodland Hills, Central Catholic picked up the ball as Woodland Hills was threatening to score.
So it'll be Central's ball at the 27-yard line. Fisher steps under center. He will hand off. Tailback running right, Ronnie Jones. He'll spin his way forward for a pickup of about 2 to the 29, and it's 2nd down and 8.
Woodland Hills defensively has always had that bend but don't break type of mentality, especially with this team. But right now, these guys are really going after the running back and quarterback of Central Catholic and making sure that they don't pick up any more yards than they absolutely necessarily have to.
Seven yards today for tailback Ronnie Jones. Offset eye backfield as Fisher hands off. Jones trying to cut his way forward, picking up positive yardage across the 30 to the 34-yard line. And it is 3rd and manageable for the Vikings, 3rd and about 4 on that pickup of 4. Jones now with 11 yards. He's done it the hard way.
And with a dual threat quarterback like you have in Fisher, you really have to make sure that if downfield coverage is good.
Jacob Hinish, offensive lineman for Central Catholic, slow to get up, so the training staff's going to go take a look at him as he had a Woodland Hills defensive lineman down underneath his ankle. 10-17 to play here in the 2nd quarter as both teams will head to the sideline. Should Woodland Hills advance to the WPIAL championship game, we will have the coverage for us. At the end of the 1st quarter, Penn Trafford leads Pine Richland 10-6. However, Pine Richland threatening deep inside of Warriors territory. This game and the broadcast rights to this game are the sole and exclusive property of the WPIAL, the Woodland Hills Football Network, and the MSA Sports Network. Any broadcast of this game is intended exclusively for the benefit of the listening and viewing audience, and any use, rebroadcast, or distribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of the WPIAL, the Woodland Hills Football Network, and the MSA Sports Network is strictly prohibited. 3rd and 4 for the Vikings, the ball at their own 33. Shotgun for Fisher, sidecar to his right, low snap. He'll scoop it up as he doesn't have much pressure on him. He'll throw to the right. He's got a receiver over there for a 1st down. It's Damar Hamlin, who's brought down across the 40 at the 41-yard line. A pickup on that play of 7 yards. And it is a 1st down for the Vikings.
And it looked like Hamlin just got enough yards really just ran a 7 and out, and Fisher was able to make the connection after bobbling the snap. And Adam, that's twice that Central Catholic quarterback Fisher has dropped a snap.
Handoff this time to Ronnie Jones, and a flag thrown basically as the ball was snapped. And a pickup of 3, but the initial call seems to be against the Vikings. So it'll be a pre-snap penalty, some sort of procedural penalty against Central Catholic. It's a formational penalty against the Vikings, and it'll be first down and 15 for Central Catholic. The ball at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I think Central Catholic didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage as that ball was snapped.
9:33 as the clock winds here in quarter number 2. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 7-zip. Trips left, one receiver to the right. As Fisher in the shotgun. They're setting up the screen, and the ball nearly intercepted by Miguel Cobbs. He did a great job not only reading the screen, but sagging to the left and nearly picked that one off. And the big fella had some room had he caught that football.
And Miguel Cobbs was the only one that actually read the screen. Just did a great job of dropping back. And then, as you said, unless the Central Catholic receiver would have jumped on his back, he probably would have been in the end zone.
Vikings straight to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 15. Trips left. Twins to the right, empty set for Fisher. Fisher now sends a man in motion in Farrat. Fisher, straight drop back, looking left the whole way. Throwing left, and the pass intended for Jacob Mckee is well short, and the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, I don't know if Mckee saw the ball or knew the ball was coming to him, because it looked like it hit the turf right at his feet.
9:15 as the clock stopped here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 7-zip. Woodland Hills has mounted a pretty decent offensive drive, but a fumble by Miles Sanders on an end-around attempt on a pitch to Jaymond Dunn thwarted Wolverines' threat. Now the Vikings looking to capitalize, but they face this 3rd and 15 at their own 36-yard line. Quarterback Fisher running right, directing traffic, dumping it off short. And Central Catholic has the first down. Some way or another, Bryson Garner was able to weave his way through traffic along that far sideline and pick up a Central Catholic first down to the Woodland Hills 47-yard line.
And Garner just did a great job of finding a soft spot in the zone, probably about 5 or 7 yards down the field from where Fisher threw that ball. And then once he got the ball secured, just weaved his way through traffic to pick up the first down.
17-yard pickup on that pass play. And Central Catholic with this first down and 10 now at the Woody High 47. Handoff will go to Ronnie Jones, and Ronnie Jones will get to the line of scrimmage, maybe pick up a yard or 2. And it is 2nd down and long for the Vikings.
And these are some adjustments that Woodland Hills is going to have to make during halftime, is to figure out what Central Catholic is doing in the passing game, because it's really not like Central Catholic has been successful of going downfield with a football via the pass, but they seem to be getting the little dinks and dunks and picking up first downs via the pass. That's going to really hurt Woodland Hills in the second half if they don't make any changes.
Fisher in the shotgun, sidecar to his left-hand side. Ronnie Jones, Twins left, one receiver to the far side right on 2nd and 9. Low snap again. This time Fisher is pressured. He's going to release the football to the near sideline where it's complete to Jacob Mckee, and Mckee will carry the ball inside of the 45 to the 41-yard line. A pickup of 5 brings up 3rd down and 4.
And there is no shortage of hits that are going on in this football game, especially from the Woodland Hills defense. Those guys have been able to get clear shots on their targets pretty much the entire night, and they're taking well advantage of it.
3rd and 4 here. Woodland Hills gave up a 3rd and long moments ago. Now a 3rd and short for the Vikings with the ball at the Woody High 41-yard line. 7.5 minutes to play in the first half. Fisher in the shotgun, trips right. He'll look right the whole way. He'll release the football deep down the field. It's a jump ball, and it will be incomplete. As back there in coverage was Rodney Denard, and also slipping over there to help out Derek Caraway, and the incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 4, and it's decision time for Terry Totten as they face this 4th and 4 at the Woodland Hills 41.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the best decision for Fisher, considering you had over-the-top safety coverage and Caraway had great position on Mckee as he threw that ball.
Punt unit will come on for the Vikings. Remember, Troy Fisher is the punter as well as the quarterback for the Vikings. Jaymond Dunn and Miles Sanders back team to return for Woody Hunt. Clock stop with 7:16 to play in the second quarter. And it's a fake, and they will hand off as Damar Hamlin runs from left to right. He's got the first down and more down the far sideline. He'll be forced out of bounds, but a lot of trickery there for Central Catholic. Woodland Hills was anticipating the fake, and they were anticipating the up man running with the football. They didn't anticipate Hamlin taking the handoff from left to right, and the pickup of 17 yards, and it is a 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Woodland Hills 24.
Yeah, I think Hamlin was one of those protectors and just did a great job of really executing that punt fake for Central Catholic.
Troy Fisher in the shotgun, sidecar to his right, 2 receivers left, wing to the left as well. Handoff will go to the tailback, Ronnie Jones, and Ronnie Jones is met at the line of scrimmage, and he'll get no further. And it is 2nd down and 10. As Jones has 11 yards, and he has certainly paid the price picking up those 11 yards.
And making that tackle was Damon Johnson, who's had a tremendous ball game so far for Woodland Hills at linebacker.
2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Clock winding to 6:20 to play in the second quarter. Vikings threatening as Woodland Hills trail Central Catholic 7-0. Sidecar to the left of Fisher is Jones. Fisher's going to run left. He's going to throw to the left-hand side. The pass is complete to Gustav Farad, and Farad is brought down after a gain of just about 2 to the 22-yard line. Make it a gain of 3 to the 21 where Saeed Holt makes the tackle, and it is 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, I think it's a little strange when you have a linebacker covering a wide receiver, but Saeed Holt did a great job of, once the ball was caught by Farad, just making sure he made a short tackle and not giving up any more yardage.
Quarterback Fisher, 33 yards in the air today on his 4 completions. Fisher in the shotgun, trips right, 1 receiver to the near side left. He has the sidecar to his right-hand side in Jones. Fisher's going to roll to his right. He's going to throw to his right. The pass is complete over in the flat there to Farad, and Farad is forced out of bounds inside of the 20 at the 18-yard line. And it is 4th down for the Vikings here. Will they bring on the field goal unit to extend the lead, or are they going to try for an offensive play? Looks like the field goal unit will come on for the Central Catholic Vikings, and this will be a 35-yard attempt from the right hash. So on to attempt a field goal for Central Catholic is Jacob Mckee. Again, the ball on the right hash, so this will be a 35-yard attempt. Good snap, good hold, and that kick will just clear the crossbar, and Central Catholic extends their lead to 10-0 over Woodland Hills with 5:16 to play here in the second quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. The story of this football game has been the special teams. Pittsburgh Central Catholic returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and then a 35-yard field goal that just clears the crossbar by Jacob Mckee, and the Wolverines trail Central Catholic 10-0. Now, Fred, we've seen Woodland Hills move the football against the Vikings defense. In fact, they had the ball 1st and 10 at the Vikings 11, but when the Wolverines went for an end around, Sanders was going to pitch to Dunn, and Sanders was hit as he was going to release the football, and Central Catholic ended up scooping it up at the 27 and turned that turnover into 3 points. Deep kick, carrying to the near sideline into the end zone where Jaymond Dunn will be forced to accept a touchback as he had the ball in his possession inside of the end zone. So it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines, 80 yards from pay dirt with 5:16 to play.
And Woodland Hills really needs to use all 5 minutes and 16 seconds left in this quarter to establish a drive that's going to end in some points, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. They really just need to keep it together for these last 5 minutes and 16 seconds, which needs to result in some points.
Daron Cooper back in at quarterback, at least for the moment. He has sidecars to either side, and a flag comes in, and I think Woodland Hills had 12 men in the huddle. So 12 in the huddle for the Wolverines, and that's going to cost them 5 yards. And now they are 85 yards away from pay dirt.
And Adams, it seems to me that all the penalties for Woodland Hills so far in this game have all been mental errors.
Other than the roughing the punter, I really would have to agree with you. Everything has been basically pre-snap for the Wolverines. Again, sidecars to either side of Cooper. Woodland Hills 1st and 15 at their own 15. Handoff, Shaw running left. He had a crease for a moment, but it closed up quickly, and he will carry the ball out to the 20-yard line, so it's a pickup of 5, but it's 2nd down and 10.
It looks like it was Woodland Hills was running a counter play with Joel Shaw. Came to his from his right to his left, but didn't see anything on the left side and just decided to cut it back and picked up 5 yards on 1st down.
So Woodland Hills will go back to the Wildcat as Daron Cooper checks out of the lineup. And the Wolverines will set in the pistol with Shaw behind Sanders and receivers to either side with a double tight end set. And the handoff, no, Miles Sanders is going to keep it, bouncing it to the near side. 25 to the 30, he's out of bounds to the near boundary, across the 32, around the 31-yard line. It's a Woodland Hills 1st down on the gain of 11 for Miles Sanders.
And I think Woodland Hills really got lucky on that last play. It looked like one, maybe two of the pulling offensive linemen for Woodland Hills got a little bit of an early start, but the referees didn't seem to see it that way.
Yeah, the left tackle especially moved early. That was Amon Baldwin Youngblood, who sat back in his stance early. And, you know, when you have a new quarterback, Fred, that certainly can be something that happens. Shotgun, sidecar to the right of Miles Sanders is Joel Shaw. Miles is going to keep it himself. And he is trying to make something happen here, and he is brought down 7 yards deep in the backfield at the 25-yard line, and that brings up 2nd down and 17, as I think the Wolverines were trying to set up some trickery there on the fake handoff, but Miles wasn't able to fool anybody as he maintained the football.
Yeah, Woodland Hills really needs to stay away from the trickery and really just needs to run their offense. They're pretty successful in it so far in this game, but the two of their bigger losses and one turnover have come on what we call trick plays.
So that loss of 7 brings up, again, 2nd down and 17. Miles Sanders today, his only 2 negative rushes were on those trick plays. Miles, the QB in the Wildcat. Sidecar to his right, but Sanders is going to throw the football. And the pass intended for Jaymond Dunn, and that is well off the mark, and it is 3rd down and 17.
And I'm not sure why, Woodland Hills has decided to go to the Wildcats. I mean, Daron Cooper has been an efficient passer pretty much all year long. I mean, I don't think it's very wise to take the ball out of his hand in terms of as a quarterback, but I can see where, Coach Novak wants to use his athletes more and more during this ballgame.
Well, my issue isn't necessarily taking the ball out of Cooper's hands, but they're on 2nd down and 17. Bring the quarterback in, let him throw the football, and then trick him. Throw with Sanders later on a more manageable situation. Now it's an obvious passing down on 3rd and 17. Cooper has some time. Throws it down the middle. It's intended for Miles Sanders, but well off the mark, and the incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 17, and the Wolverines forced the punt again. Well, Fred, we wanted Woodland Hills to occupy clock and move the football. They didn't do either.
Yeah, and which is a shame because they have done a great job against this stout Central Catholic defense, but decided to go away from the run where they've been largely successful and try some passes on the series.
3:22 to play in the 2nd quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 10-0. The Vikings scoring on a field goal, obviously, as well as on a kickoff return for a touchdown to begin the football game. And the Wolverines going to run the fake straight up the middle. Miles Sanders, first down and more, spinning inside of Vikings territory. Now he'll cut it back 40, 35, still on his feet, 30. What a monstrous block at the 30. Miles still on his feet. He will take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Now the touchdown's going to come back, but it'll still be a Woodland Hills first down.
And it'll be a Woodland Hills first down deep in Central Catholic territory, but there's 2 flags down.
The Woodland Hills fans along the near sideline are not happy. And, this is something that happens week in and week out. The video replay will show us the validity of the flag, but Miles certainly will have the first down either way. And what an incredible run by Sanders as he spun his way free at the 50-yard line, then cut around a defender, Ronald George, inside of the 45-yard line. And it was a block in the back, no doubt about it. And the block happened at the 29-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolverines at the 39-yard line. So a big special teams play here for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, and that seems to be the mantra of this game is special teams. Both teams have done a great job so far with special teams, kickoff returns, field goals, and then this fake punt. Even Central Catholic in their fake punt was very successful as well.
36 yards net for Miles Sanders, and he now has 67 net yards for the Wolverines as there is 3 minutes to play here, and the clock is winding. The clock was winding, and now they're going to stop the clock and ask for it to be reset as the clock was winding when the ball was set, and Coach Novak was quick to catch that one. Now there's a discussion with Coach Novak along the near boundary. 2:55 to play here in the second quarter.
Reset the game clock to 3:07. Thank you.
So 12 seconds rolled off the clock as the ball is set at the 39-yard line. Cooper in the shotgun, sidecar to his right, receivers to either side. Coop looking right, throwing right. The pass complete to Jermaine Wynn. He is down inside of the 35 at the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 5, and Woodland Hills faces 2nd down and 5.
And that's the kind of pass calls that Coop's going to need to get comfortable in this ball game. Complete a 5-yard out, complete a 10-yard out. Get yourself a little bit more comfortable, get yourself timed up with your wide receivers so you can make some good passes later on in this game.
Oh, fake punt for Woodland Hills leading to a first down. Let's see if they can capitalize now with the ball at the Central Catholic 34-yard line on 2nd down and 5. Clock winds to 2:33 as the handoff goes to Joel Shaw. He's got a crease to the 30. First down and more, dragging white jerseys with them all the way down to the 21-yard line. The big fella was dragging Vikings with him.
And Joel Shaw, had he been a little bit more patient coming through the line of scrimmage and followed Amon Baldwin Youngblood, I think he would have been standing in the end zone because he did a great job of, once he was tackled, really just manhandling Central Catholic Vikings, but got a little impatient and beat Baldwin Youngblood around the edge. Still picking up the first down.
13 yards on the carry for Joel Shaw, who has 29 yards in total, and the flag comes in. And I think Woodland Hills has 12 men in the huddle again. So the Wolverines with 12 men out there. And yet again, Fred, a pre-snap penalty.
It seems to be the issue when Richter, number 99, comes into the ballgame. I don't think one of the wide receivers is coming off of the field when he comes on. So that's why they're getting caught with 12 guys in the huddle.
Central Catholic calls a timeout. We'll step away for a moment as well. 2:05 to play in the second quarter. Central Catholic 10, Woodland Hills 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Follow the Woodland Hills Football Network on Twitter, twitter.com/WHFootballNet for coverage of the Wolverines all season and all off-season long on the Woodland Hills Football Network. 2:05 to play here in the second quarter. Woodland Hills 1st and 15. The ball at the Central Catholic 26-yard line. Sanders motions from right to left. Cooper looking left. Now he'll look back to the right-hand side, looking for Mac Hoots, who catches the football. He had his right foot down, and they'll say it's an incomplete pass. Hoots was shoved as he was catching the football, and it will just be an incomplete pass, and it is 2nd down and 15.
I was going to say, forget the incomplete pass. How about the pass interference? Looked like Farrat, who's number 7, was matched up with Hoots, and looked like he pushed him before the ball even got to him.
Well, let's take a look here, and we can't exactly see on that television replay. And 1:59 here as the clock is stopped in the second quarter. Woodland Hills facing a 2nd and 15. Handoff, Sanders on the counter, inside of the 25, leaps over a Viking, but he will be tripped up at the 22-yard line. A pickup of 4, and it is 3rd down and 11.
It looked like Damar Hamlin, number 3 for Central Catholic, is the one that tripped up Miles Sanders as he was trying to jump over top of him. Just did a great job on the counter, following his lead blockers, and picked up some good yards on 2nd down.
Clock winding to 90 seconds to play in the second quarter. Woodland Hills 3rd and 11 at the Central Catholic 22, trailing Central Catholic by 10 points. Cooper sidecars to either side in the shotgun. Double tight end set, 1 receiver left. Cooper looking left the whole way. Intended for Jaymond Dunn, and it's intercepted by the Vikings. Running with the football is Ronnie Jones. Jones down the far sideline, picks up a block. Stephen Puel was being held, but Ronnie Jones is still off to the races, and he'll carry it all the way into the end zone for a Central Catholic touchdown. And a pick 6 for the Vikings, and the Wolverines down 16-0, and this could be trouble for Woody High.
Looks like you got an injured Wolverine in the end zone.
Yeah, it should be Miles Sanders. He was the lone Woodland Hills player back there, and I think he's just gassed. But an errant pass by any account by Daron Cooper, and the interception returned for a touchdown of about 87 yards. But what I want to know is, where was the hold as Stephen Puel was having his jersey grabbed, and you can see him right there. He put his arms out as if to signal the referee that he was being held. The official didn't see it, naturally. And a big play for Central Catholic, not negated by a penalty. Instead, they will have the 87-yard pick 6, and Woodland Hills down 16-zip with less than a minute to play in the second quarter. The PAT is good in Woodland Hills, trailing by 17 points with 59 seconds to play in the second frame. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. An anemic offense for Central Catholic has put 3 points on the board, but Central Catholic leads Woodland Hills by 17 points in total, as the Vikings lead Woodland Hills 17-0. The most recent score, an 87-yard interception return for a touchdown by Ronnie Jones. And the Wolverines, with less than a minute to go here, need to get a score before they go in the locker room. There's no doubt about it. For morale purposes, for mental stability, you can't go into the locker room trailing Central Catholic by 17 points.
Yeah, and this is probably almost 6 quarters now that Woodland Hills has played against Central Catholic over the past 2 years, and haven't been able to come up with any points on the board.
End over end kick will be returned by the Wolverines at the 4-yard line. Jaymond Dunn fakes the pitch. He's running to the far side left. He's got a crease, cutting it back to the near side. Tries to cut it back out, and he'll be brought down shy of the 45-yard line at the 44. And it is first down and 10 for the Wolverines at the 44-yard line.
And Adam, I've noticed even since the very first time that Jaymond Dunn had the ball in his hands, it looked like he's had a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up. I mean, he's really limping out there, and I think that might have hampered him as he was carrying the ball, because he's a lot faster than what he shows, and I thought he'd been able to take it to the house if he wasn't injured.
Yeah, he did come up lame last week after a nice kickoff return as Daron Cooper sets up the screen, and it's nearly intercepted by a defensive lineman. Reaching up and tipping the pass was David Green, and had he caught that one, I think this game could have been over, Fred.
Oh, absolutely, because there was nothing but white jerseys around him and nothing but open field in front of him.
Daron Cooper has completed 1 pass today. He is 1 of 6 for 5 yards and an interception.
And coincidentally, it's his first interception thrown of the season.
Clock stopped with 44 seconds to play. Two receivers right, one to the far side left. Cooper's going to hand off, and Joel Shaw is hit by one of his offensive linemen, and he'll be brought down a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. It is 3rd down and 11 as Woodland Hills is going to use a timeout.
And I think everybody from Central thought that was going to be a pass play. Woodland Hills did a great job of disguising it, but just poorly executing that play.
Woodland Hills calls a timeout, but we're going to keep it here. And, you know, Fred, with 37 seconds to go here, Woodland Hills, they need to get a quick hitter. They need to score a touchdown before they head into the locker room. The Wolverines will get the ball to begin the second half, which is good news for Woodland Hills fans. However, Woodland Hills has certainly a mountain to overcome with a 17-point deficit against the Central Catholic defense that has done some great things all year long.
Yeah, it's not an insurmountable amount of points, especially even if you go in at 17-0 halftime, because Woodland Hills has done a great job of actually moving the ball against Central Catholic. Their problem is once they get down inside the 20-yard line, they seem to be very careless with the football.
Yeah, Woodland Hills has turned it over twice today with the ball inside of Central Catholic's 25-yard line. Once on a pitch by Miles Sanders. He was hit as he was releasing the football. The other time, an interception thrown by Daron Cooper and a pick 6 for Central Catholic's Ronnie Jones. And Central Catholic has put up 3 points offensively. Woodland Hills has yet to score offensively, but still, it's 17-zip. Trips right, one receiver left, sidecar to the left of Cooper. Cooper, play action. He'll throw to Hoots, who's hit shy of the first down marker. They'll say his forward progress stopped at the 46-yard line. Make it the 47, and it is 4th down and 1, and Woodland Hills has got to go for it here as they will use a timeout, their final timeout of the half. Well, obviously, Fred, Woodland Hills wants to get a first down here. That's the most important thing on 4th down and 1. After the first down, get to the line of scrimmage, spike the football, try to get it going.
Yeah, and that's really what they need. What they need to do is, I like the fact that they're going to Hoots. So Mac Hoots seems to be one of the more sure-handed receivers for this Woodland Hills team. And to be honest with you, I'd keep going back to him as much as I could.
So a 10-yard pass play from Cooper to Hoots. And Cooper with 2 completions today for 15 yards. This one half of the semifinal bracket. On the other half, Penn Trafford taking on Pine Richland. At last check, the Warriors led the Rams. But Russ Reamer, for folks on the radio side, will have a scoring update momentarily.
Adam, I think there was another. I heard an update that the Rams were up 13-10 over Penn Trafford.
Two receivers right, one to the far side left. Cooper with a sidecar to his right. Coop looking right, throwing right. The pass is complete. It's a Woodland Hills first down, and more importantly, Jermaine Wynn slides out of bounds after a 5-yard pickup and the Woodland Hills first down.
Yeah, great job of Jermaine Wynn of just really coming across the first down marker, making a secure catch, and then turning to the outside to get out of bounds.
Clock stop with 19 seconds to play in the second quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 17-zip. Wolverines break the huddle. Trips left, one receiver to the near side right. 3 seconds on the play clock. Coop throws it to the near side, and the pass is incomplete, nearly intercepted. The pass intended for Jaymond Dunn sprung high. Timothy Terry thought he had an opportunity for the pick, but they say the ball hit the ground, and it is 2nd and 10.
Again, these play calls really need to come a little bit faster. It seems like that Coach Novak's not getting the play in at least until 5 or 6 seconds have already ticked off the play clock.
15 seconds to go. Clock stopped in the second quarter. Woodland Hills down by 17. Twins to either side. Cooper in the shotgun. Play action. Has a receiver to the right as he'll step to the right. And Coop sliding his way forward. He'll be spun down at the 39-yard line, and that'll be the final play of the half. Joel Shaw lost his lid. And we will head to the locker room with Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 17-0. And Coach Novak wants to know why the clock didn't stop, because Joel Shaw lost the helmet. And the official won't even listen to what Coach Novak has to say. Your halftime score, 17-0. Fred, Woodland Hills, their offense has been able to move the football. Their defense has been pretty stout. However, a special teams play and a pick six have led to 14 of the 17 points for Central Catholic, and this is a very familiar story from last year's quarterfinals.
Yeah, it has. I mean, Central Catholic is doing everything that they need to do to keep Woodland Hills out of the end zone, but Woodland Hills really needs to be more secure with the football when they're down inside the 25-yard line. One fumble, one interception. The interception being a pick six has really killed the Wolverines so far offensively.
And those two turnovers, Fred, have led to 10 of the 17 Central Catholic points. The Vikings turned the fumble by Miles Sanders into 3 points, and obviously the pick six by Ronnie Jones was returned 87 yards for the touchdown to add to the Vikings' lead.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take away the credit and what Central Catholic has done so far in this ball game, because they're taking advantage of the Woodland Hills miscues. But really, Woodland Hills mentally needs to get focused coming into this second half, and they certainly don't want to see their season end like this to Central Catholic.
Again, your halftime score, 17-0. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic. Folks, on the television side, we will be back with the second half on the radio side. Stay tuned for the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show. You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. The Woodland Hills defense has allowed 3 points to the Central Catholic Vikings. That is the good news. The bad news is the special teams have allowed 7 points. And the Woodland Hills offense has allowed 7 points. And the Woodland Hills Wolverines trail the Central Catholic Vikings 17-0 as we get set to begin the second half here at Fox Chapel High School. 24 minutes remain in the WPIAL Semi-Finals, and one of these two teams will have their ticket punched to the WPIAL Championship game next Saturday at Heinz Field. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And Fred, this game so similar to last year's WPIAL Semi-Finals, where Woodland Hills lost to Central Catholic 28-0, but the Vikings in that football game won on a punt return for a touchdown, a fumble return for a touchdown, an interception return for a touchdown, and an inconsequential touchdown by the Vikings offense late in the fourth quarter.
And Adam, I'm going to have to correct you because that was the quarterfinals.
Did I say semis?
You did.
Yeah, quarters
from last year. It is an eerie similar feeling to this ball game, but like I said before, I don't really think that matters to these guys. It's a completely different team, completely different makeup, and I think these guys really don't have a lot of quit in them. So I don't think these guys are just going to roll over and let Central Catholic just take this victory. They're going to fight tooth and nail to get back into this ball game and hopefully squeeze out a win.
There are some positives to take out of the first half, most notably how Woodland Hills was able to move the ball against Central Catholic. The Wolverines moved the ball into Vikings territory on a couple of occasions. Twice they had the ball inside of the 25, once all the way down to the Vikings 11-yard line. When the Wolverines had the ball at the Vikings 11, Miles Sanders was hit as he was going to pitch the ball on an end around to Jaymond Dunn. And when the ball squared to loose, the Vikings recovered. Central Catholic turned that fumble into 3 points. But more damaging was later in the half as the Wolverines got the ball inside of the 25-yard line. Daron Cooper threw an interception, and it was returned for a touchdown by Ronnie Jones. An 87-yard pick six made it 17-0. Cold night here in western Pennsylvania as Woodland Hills and Central Catholic do battle in the WPIAL Semi-Finals. 41 degrees, moderate humidity, occasional winds here, no precipitation in the forecast, but this is late November in western Pennsylvania, and we certainly can't complain about the weather we have seen thus far here this fall. And Fred, I think you said it best. Woodland Hills doesn't want to see their season end in such a fashion. Right now, there is a big mountain to climb, but I think Woodland Hills has the offensive weapons to do so, and we've seen the defense be able to stymie Central Catholic.
Yeah, and that's really the surprising part for me so far in this ball game is the fact that the defense really hasn't given up much yardage to Central Catholic. I mean, they've been able to shut down Ronnie Jones. Fisher, the quarterback, hasn't really been effective as he has been throughout the course of the season. So, it really lies in the hands of the offense right now.
We'll see what Woodland Hills can do here. Again, the Wolverines will receive to begin the second half. It'll be the Wolverines left to right across your television screen, internet browser, or radio dial in the second half of the WPIAL Semi-Finals between the Wolverines and the Vikings. A kick that will slide through the legs of a Wolverine return man, and he will scoop that ball up out towards the 35-yard line before being driven back. I think that was Caraway on the return. No, it's Saeed Holt for the Wolverines on the return. Tackle made by Damar Hamlin, and it is first down and 10 for the Wolverines. Again, the ball will be set at the 33.
And patience is the key for Woodland Hills on offense on this first drive in the second half. It's just really not trying to hit the home run, not trying to get all 17 points back on one play, but just chip away at this Central Catholic defense, and hopefully the drive will result in some points.
Double tight end set. Rickert, the tight end to the right. Puel, the tight end to the left. One receiver to the near side right. Cooper, shotgun sidecars to either side. Hand off. Sanders bouncing it right. Trying to bounce it further outside. 40, 45. He's got the first down, and out of bounds he will go at the 46-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for the Wolverines, a pickup of 13.
And that's exactly the play that Woodland Hills needed on the first down play. It's just picking up 10, 15 yards on first down with Miles Sanders, who's been your leader on offense all season long.
13-yard pickup for Miles Sanders, and it is first and 10 for the Wolverines at the 46-yard line. The ball on the near hash. Again, the double tights. One receiver left. Coop, sidecars to either side. He'll hand off. Shaw running left. Bouncing it outside, now cutting it back in. He'll drive his way forward, approaching the 50-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 49. It's a pickup of 3, and the Wolverines methodically moving the ball right now.
And Miles Sanders needs to be the bruiser for this Woodland Hills offense. Really start chipping away at the defensive line and linebackers with some nice hits, picking up good yardage on first down, and keeping everything smooth and easy.
Second and 7 for the Wolverines. The ball at the 49. Coop, sidecars to either side. Wing to the right. Hand off on the counter. Miles leaps over a Viking, still on his feet, inside of Vikings territory. He'll be brought down after picking up a first down at the 42-yard line. Pickup of 9 on that run for Miles Sanders.
Nice run by Miles Sanders, really leaping over a Central Catholic Viking, and once he got his foot back on the ground, really shook the jockstrap off of another Central Catholic defender and picking up the first down.
So first and 10 for the Wolverines, the ball at the Vikings' 42-yard line. Clock stop with 11:03 to play in the third quarter. One receiver left, double tight end formation. Handoff, Shaw. He'll pound his way inside of the 40 to the 38-yard line, a pickup of 4, and it is second down and 6.
Woodland Hills running a little thunder and lightning type offense to start the second half on offense, really using Miles Sanders' speed on the outside and the size of Joel Shaw on the inside.
We saw the Wolverines do this against Bethel Park last week. They just kept handing it off. Sanders, Shaw, Sanders, Shaw, Sanders, Shaw, and it led to several touchdowns. In fact, 6 in total, 3 for each of them. Second and 6, the ball at the Central Catholic 38-yard line. And movement before the snap, and breaching the neutral zone was Kurt Hinish, the 6'3", 280-pound defensive lineman. Are they going to call this a false start against Woodland Hills? No, it's encroachment against the defense, which is the right call. Now, the referee forever was looking over to the far sideline, so that's why everybody on the near side thought, oh, this is going to be a false start against the Wolverines, but instead the encroachment makes it second down and 1 for Woody High with the ball at the Vikings 33.
I think if that penalty had been called against the Wolverines, this place would have erupted.
Double tights, sidecars to either side of Coop. Hand off to Shaw, running left. He's into open field inside of the 30, the 25, and he will be brought down shy of the 20-yard line, but it's a Woodland Hills first down at the Vikings 23.
I would have liked to have seen Joel Shaw go right after Farad at the end of that play just to show Farad who's boss in the running game. I mean, you got that much size against a smaller defender. You might as well just take it to him and see what happens.
Joel Shaw, pickup of 10 on that play. He now has 45 yards for the Wolverines. 9:50 as the clock winds here in the third quarter. Woodland Hills down by 17, but Woodland Hills threatening again. Cooper hard count. He'll hand off. Miles Sanders trying to cut his way forward. He'll get towards the 20-yard line, maybe the 21, where his forward progress is stalled for a pickup of 2, and it is second down and 8.
I think Miles Sanders should have just continued with the cutback. It looked like he had a nice lane. I guess something from the Central Catholic defense spooked him into stutter stepping a little bit, but definitely should have continued with the cutback.
And a timeout is called. Coach Novak wants to talk things over with his troops. 9:17 to play in the third frame. It's Central Catholic 17, Woodland Hills 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Second and 8 for the Wolverines. Again, the ball at the 21 of the Central Catholic Vikings. Woodland Hills has been here twice before and turned the ball over 2 times before. Cooper, shotgun, hands off. Miles Sanders bouncing it right. Trying to turn the corner. He'll drive his way back to the line of scrimmage and no further. The Vikings saw that one coming from a mile away, and Sanders did all he could to make sure there was no gain on the play. In fact, the officials will say that Sanders is brought down a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. It's third down and 8.
Okay, now is decision time for Coach Novak. Do you try to pass the ball down the field, which has been largely ineffective for Woodland Hills, or do you run the ball with Sanders and Shaw and see what you can get on third down?
Make it a loss of 1, and it's third down and 9 for the Wolverines with the ball at the 22-yard line. Coop in the shotgun as Hoots motions from right to left. Handoff, Shaw straight up the gut. He's inside of the 20 towards the 15-yard line, and then he's driven back. It's a pickup of 7 yards, but it's fourth down and about 2.
Decision time for Coach Novak on fourth down, fourth and about 2. I might as well just run Shaw again. Right up the gut. Really found a nice crease created by the offensive line and just kept his feet turning.
Wolverines break the huddle. Offense on the field on fourth down and about 1.5 yards. The ball at the 15-yard line. Sidecars to either side of Daron Cooper. Hard count by Coop. He'll hand off to Shaw. He's got the first down as he drives his way towards the 10-yard line. They say his forward progress is stymied at the 12. It's a pickup of 3, and it's first and 10 for the Wolverines.
And I like the fact that Cooper ran the play on a 2 or 3 count, trying to draw the Vikings off sides. Good discipline by Central Catholic to not come off sides, but you really got the bull, Joel Shaw, running downhill on that last play to pick up the first down.
Shaw and Sanders flank Cooper as Hoots motions from right to left. Cooper drops the snap, and Woodland Hills has a bigger mountain to climb now as the ball is back at the 19-yard line. And Fred, every time Woodland Hills seems to make some hay inside of the Vikings red zone, an error happens for the Wolverines.
Yeah, fortunately for Woodland Hills, Coop is able to jump back on the football, taking a little bit of a loss. But the good news is Woodland Hills can still pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown.
Loss of 7. Cooper now 3 carries for 1 yard in total. Handoff, Joel Shaw straight up the middle. He'll turn his back to the defense, and he will be brought down at the 14-yard line. A pickup of 5, and it is third down and about 12.
Yeah, again, I like the fact that Woodland Hills is running Shaw up the middle, really testing the defensive line and linebackers of Central Catholic. And then, for speed wise, they seem to use Sanders around the left or right ends to utilize his speed.
Double tight end formation on 3rd and 12 at the 14-yard line. Cooper flanked by Shaw and Sanders. Miles bouncing it right, trying to cut his way back left. He will be brought down around the 13-yard line, and it is fourth down and about 11 for the Wolverines after a gain of just 1 for Miles Sanders.
And number 32, Timothy Terry.
It looks like they're bringing out the kicker, Sullivan Folia, for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, the ball's set around the 12-yard line, so this will be roughly a 30-yard attempt from the right hash for Thomas Sullivan Folia. The kicker is Michael Whitehurst. The long snapper, Stephen Rickard. The kicker, Thomas Sullivan Folia. This will be a 29-yard attempt from the right hash. Good snap, good hold. The kick by Sullivan Folia is up, and that kick is no good, carrying way far wide left. And Central Catholic continues to shut out Woodland Hills. The Wolverines have not scored on the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings since the WPIAL championship game in 2013.
And that's such a disappointing miss, for Sullivan Folia, two for the Wolverines, the fact that they ate up half of the quarter on that drive and came away with no points.
He'll hand it off rather, and running straight up the gut goes the tailback, Ronnie Jones, and Jones will go nowhere, and it is 2nd down and 10. Ronnie Jones, 8 carries, 11 yards. 5:33 to play here in the third quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic. Packed house here at Fox Chapel for this WPIAL semifinal.
Looks like it might be standing room only.
An official timeout here is there's an equipment issue for one of the Vikings, and David Green will have to check out. And yeah, Fred, it is standing room only, as there are many fans standing along the fence in the end zone to our left-hand side, and many Woodland Hills fans standing along the top of the bleachers below us. So again, 2nd and 10 as the clock winds here. 15 on the play clock, 5:15 to play in the third frame. Woodland Hills down 17. The Vikings settle. And a counter coming to the near side left. Ronnie Jones trying to cut it back, and he will be spun down by Wilford Clark, but not before picking up a half a dozen yards. And it is 3rd down and 4 for the Vikings. The ball at their own 26.
Yeah, we cannot fail to mention the fact that the defense for Woodland Hills has really stepped up against its Central Catholic offense.
No doubt about it. The Vikings have, again, mounted just one significant offensive drive, and that was continued by a fake punt. Had it not been for that fake punt, the Vikings would have had to punt it away again, as quarterback throwing to his right-hand side. The pass intended for Bryson Garner, incomplete as Fisher was pressured, and the incomplete pass stops the clock and brings up 4th down.
And I thought Rodney Denard, number 32, really got lucky for the fact that he wasn't called for pass interference due to the contact down the field.
Well, the best part about that incomplete pass was the clock stopped to give Woodland Hills more time here in quarter number 3. Fisher will punt with 4.5 minutes to go in the third frame. Slow snap, but Fisher with no pressure booms it away. It'll carry to the far sideline towards the Vikings bench, and then take a very nice Central Catholic roll where the ball will die at the 41-yard line, and Woodland Hills 59 yards away from trying to crack the scoreboard for the first time against Central Catholic in 2 seasons.
Yeah, Woodland Hills really needs to put some points on the board on this drive. There's no question. If they want to stay in this ball game, to give themselves a chance in the fourth quarter, they really need to score on this drive.
We talked about it on the radio side at halftime, Fred. This is so similar to what we saw in the WPIAL quarterfinals last season, where Central Catholic didn't do a whole heck of a lot on offense, but they scored defensively twice and on a punt return.
Yeah, and their defense last year I thought was a lot better than the squad in 2015, but, you know, the ball takes some funny bounces sometimes.
Again, double tights, hand off. It's Miles Sanders bouncing it to the outside. 40 to the 45 to the 50, and he is forced out of bounds after picking up the Woodland Hills first down at the 48-yard line. Pick up 11 for Miles Sanders, and I believe Miles is slow to get up along the near boundary. And a hush has fallen over the crowd as they are checking on Miles Sanders along the near side. I believe it's Miles Sanders, the injured Wolverine. Miles, who hurt his back a week ago, as he hit the turf, put his hand on his back before coming to a rest on the turf here on the near sideline. So Sanders eclipsing the century mark with that 11-yard carry. He now has 1:07 to go, in total rather. Medical staff looking at Wolverine along the near sideline. 4:10 to play in the third quarter. And we will take this opportunity for the moment to step away. 4:10 to play here in the third frame. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 17-0. A Wolverine shaking up on the near sideline, we believe, is Miles Sanders. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Miles Sanders being tended to by the Woodland Hills athletic training staff after re-aggravating a back injury from a week ago. Daron Cooper back to pass, looking down the near side right. He finds his receiver along the near boundary. It's a Woody High first down to Jermaine Wynn, a pickup of 23 yards, and the Wolverines in business again.
And Jermaine Wynn again coming up with a key catch for the Woodland Hills Wolverines. He seems to be always in the right place at the right time to make nice catches.
They'll say it's a gain of 24 yards down to the 24-yard line. And Cooper in the shotgun, twins to the left. They'll hand off to Joel Shaw, who drives his way forward towards the 20-yard line. They'll say he's down right around the 21. A pickup of 3, and it is 2nd down and 7 for the Wolverines. Joel Shaw with 63 yards. Miles Sanders with 1:07. Yes, he has yet to re-enter the lineup again. Miles last week hurt his back, and now will come back out onto the field after re-aggravating his back injury from last week.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to keep Miles Sanders out of this game. The only way that's going to happen is if he leaves the field on a stretcher, and I'm knocking on wood to make sure that doesn't happen.
And Miles will take the handoff. He'll run right. He'll try to bounce away from a Viking, but the Vikings are all over that one. And Miles is brought down 2 yards deep in the backfield. And it is 3rd down and 9 for Woodland Hills. And Fred, yet again, Woodland Hills takes the ball inside of the Central 25. And then they start to slow down again.
Yeah, trying to see what's taking so long for this play to come in from the sideline.
Half of the play clock about gone as the Wolverines approach the line of scrimmage. 2:25 as the clock winds here in the third quarter. The Vikings leading the Wolverines by 17 points. 3rd and 9. Play action. Cooper running left. Now he's going to tuck. He's going to try to drive his way forward. He had Hoots and Sanders wide open in the end zone, but decided to tuck and run instead and pick up just 2 yards to the 22.
I mean, I get that the Central Catholic defensive line and linebackers brought a lot of pressure, but man, there's no reason why you shouldn't have saw your best player standing all by himself in the end zone with not a soul around him.
So the Wolverines bring Hoots on. They send Rickert to the sideline, and they're going
to have to burn another timeout.
Yeah. And there's 5 seconds to go here on the play clock as the Wolverines break the huddle with 3 receivers left, 1 to the near side right. Snap with 1 second on the play clock. Cooper flushed. He'll set his feet and he'll be sacked. And yet another drive inside of the 25 and another turnover.
And you're going to have to give the credit to the defensive line for Central Catholic of putting the pressure, able just to really get rid of the offensive line of Woodland Hills, not giving Cooper any time back there to throw the ball.
A flag came in, and it's a sideline warning against Central Catholic. So one more sideline infraction, and that'll cost them 15 yards. But really the focus there is Daron Cooper sacked for a loss of 10 and a turnover on downs, and Woodland Hills sees another trip inside of the Vikings 25 and in no points.
619-8509. You can collect your winnings at the
1:24 to play in the third frame. The Vikings starting this drive at their own 32. I backfield behind quarterback Troy Fisher. Fisher, he'll hand off. The running back Ronnie Jones runs right. He's got the first down and more as he steps out of bounds at the 48-yard line. They'll say at the 45 is where the first foot went out. And it is 1st and 10 for Central Catholic on the pickup of 13 yards.
And I believe that's the longest run for Ronnie Jones so far in this ball game. Right now, it's not, Woodland Hills can't give up. They really need to stay focused, especially on defense, try to get the ball back and get the ball back into the hands of Sanders and Shaw.
Offset I backfield behind quarterback Troy Fisher, who steps under center with a double tight end set. The ball loose on the carpet, but Fisher's able to cover it up. A loss of 2, and it is 2nd down and 12.
And Fisher really has had a lot of issues with snaps today. I believe that's the 3rd missed snap that he's handled, 2 in the shotgun and 1 from under center so far in this ballgame.
55 seconds in the 3rd frame. The clock winds here in Fox Chapel as Woodland Hills trails the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. 17-0. Offset I backfield. Fisher's going to hand off. Ronnie Jones is met in the backfield. A gang of Wolverines bring him down. They say the forward progress stymied around the 40 or 41-yard line. And a loss of 2 brings up 3rd down and 14.
Great job of the front 7 for Woodland Hills of really just busting through the offensive line of Central Catholic and bringing Jones down in the backfield for a loss.
So they'll reset the ball at the 40-yard line. That'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We will head to the 4th frame. Central Catholic will have the ball in their hands on 3rd and 14, leading Woodland Hills 17-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Set to begin quarter number 4 here in Fox Chapel, Pennsylvania. Central Catholic with the ball 3rd down and 14 at their own 40-yard line. The line to gain is the Woodland Hills 45. So closer to 3rd down and 15 for the Vikings. Central Catholic scoring today on the opening kickoff, a 75-yard kick return for a touchdown. Vikings also with an 87-yard pick 6 and a field goal on their offensive attack. Fisher straight drop back. He'll look left the whole way. The pass down the near sideline. Oh, nearly intercepted. Derek Caraway had an opportunity at the 25, but the ball slipped through his hands as it went beyond intended receiver Ronald George, and the punt unit comes out again for the Vikings.
And Caraway really has had a very nice ball game against the Central Catholic passing game. He's been step for step for every receiver anytime the ball's been thrown towards him.
To punt it away is quarterback Troy Fisher. The Wolverines send 2 return men back in Jaymond Dunn and Miles Sanders. Sanders missed 2 plays after an extended period on the turf with re-aggravating a back injury. The punt to the near sideline takes a Woodland Hills hop. Will go out of bounds at the 35-yard line where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Wolverines. And Woodland Hills 65 yards away from pay dirt. We've said it several times today. Woodland Hills has had the ball with opportunities to move the ball. They've moved the ball inside of Vikings territory, inside of the 25 on 4 different occasions. They've come up empty on 4 different occasions.
Yeah, and with two turnovers, a turnover on downs, and a missed field goal, really hasn't been the limelight for Woodland Hills today on offense. But they it's never too late to turn it around. So
Sanders motions from left to right. He'll take the handoff on the jet sweep. Retreating, now looking to cut it back. Still on his feet as he crosses the 45 to the 35 rather to the 36-yard line. And I think a touchdown-saving ankle tackle there by Damar Hamlin, because had Hamlin not grabbed Miles' foot, he would have had the cutback and open greenery to the near side.
Yeah, it looked like he was at full speed when Hamlin brought him down by the ankles, and saw a nice cutback lane. But if it wasn't for Damar Hamlin, you might be right, Adam. Miles Sanders might be standing in the end zone right now.
So a gain of 1 for Miles Sanders, who has 106 yards rushing. Clock winding to 11 minutes to play. Trips left. Cooper in the shotgun. Sanders motions from left to right. He'll take the handoff. Now he'll set to pass. He's pressured as he retreats. Running to the near side.
Yeah.
Miles to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, and he'll step out of bounds. And what was a designed pass turns into a gain of about 5. And it is 3rd down and reasonably manageable, Fred. That's the good news. The bad news is a trick play for Woodland Hills ends in near disaster. At least this time the Wolverines didn't turn it over or didn't lose massive yardage.
What I didn't like is the fact that Daron Cooper was standing by himself. There was not a Central Catholic Viking within 10 yards of him. And Miles Sanders, I don't know if didn't see him or just didn't feel comfortable throwing the ball on the run, just decided to tuck it and run.
3rd and 4 for the Wolverines, the ball at the 41. Handoff, Shaw trying to bounce his way forward. He'll drive his way towards the first down flag before being driven back. Joel picks up about 3 yards to the 40, just past the 43-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and 1 for the Wolverines. A pickup of 3 for Shaw.
Yeah, I don't think there's any decision-making involved in this play. I think Woodland Hills is going to go for it and try to pick up the first down. More than likely, either using Joel Shaw or Miles Sanders.
Well, this ball is about 48 inches away from the 45-yard line, which is the line to gain. 10 minutes to play. As the Wolverines with sidecars to either side of Cooper, the handoff to Joel Shaw. He'll get the first down as he carries the ball across the 45-yard line towards the 46. So Joel Shaw on 4th and short comes through again. And Joel Shaw continuing to punish the Central Catholic Vikings after picking up that 3-yard gain, or 2-yard gain rather.
And that's exactly who you want handling the ball in those short yardage situations. Your 227-pound running back who seems to really have a nose for that first down marker.
68 yards unofficially for Joel Shaw as the Wolverines break the huddle on 1st and 10 at their own 45. Trips right, Cooper in the shotgun, one receiver to the near side left. Cooper's going to throw it to the right to Miles Sanders. He's hit as he releases the football. Miles is not going to hold on to it, and the incomplete pass is good news for the Wolverines, not only because it stops the clock, but it prevents a loss on the play.
Yeah, certainly, and I think Central Catholic really had that read right from the word go. I mean, it didn't even seem like Miles Sanders picked up any blocking because everybody was in his face as soon as he got the ball.
Hoots runs in the play from the near boundary. As the Wolverines break the huddle. Twins to the right. One receiver to the near side left. Now Sanders will set as the slot to the near side. Shaw, the lone setback next to Cooper. And Cooper's going to keep it on the quarterback counter. He's got some blocking in front of him, and he's close to first down yardage. He'll pick up 9. The Wolverines needed 10, though, and it will be 3rd down and 1 for the Wolverines at the Central Catholic 46-yard line.
And great job of Cooper really making some people miss. And I'm not sure if he didn't come up a little lame. It looks like he was holding his hand when he came back into the huddle.
3rd and 1 for Woody High. Trips right, one receiver to the near side left. Shaw the setback next to Daron Cooper. Shaw takes the handoff. He'll spin his way forward. He's got the first down to the 43-yard line, a pickup of 3, and it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. The ball at the Central Catholic 43-yard line. The good news is, Fred, Woodland Hills moving the football on Central Catholic again. The bad news is the clock is ticking.
Yeah, and they really need to hurry up in between plays of getting the play called into the huddle with a lot more time than what they've had over the past couple plays.
8:55 and counting here in quarter number 4. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 17-0. Cooper, play action. He's pressured, he's wrapped, he's sacked at the 50-yard line. A loss of 8 on the play, and it is 2nd down and 18.
Yeah, and
Make it a loss of 6, excuse me.
And really, this is where the offensive line for Woodland Hills needs to buckle down and give Coop some time to survey the field and make a nice pass, because they really haven't done a great job of pass blocking all day today. And pretty much Central Catholic just comes on a blitz every single time. They know that Woodland Hills is going to drop back and pass because they know they can break through that offensive line.
Make it a loss of 7 after the ball finally spotted. 2nd and 17. Daron Cooper trips to the right. Setting up the screen. The pass high. Joel Shaw has it knocked out of his hands by Ronald George. And the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 17.
And I don't understand why the offensive line is looking at Daron Cooper. I mean, I know it's a screen pass, but when you still have somebody in your face as a quarterback trying to deliver a screen pass, it just seems like there's massive amounts of breakdown on the offensive line right now.
8:02 to play in the 4th quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 17-zip. The Vikings have scored 3 offensive points. Woodland Hills has had 4 drives inside of the Vikings' 25. And they have resulted in 2 turnovers, a turnover on downs, and a missed field goal. Wildcat, Sanders running right, runs the option, pitches to Shaw. Shaw trying to make something out of nothing. He'll lose 2 yards, and it is 4th down and 19.
And it looked like the pitch was a little high to Shaw from Sanders. I mean, typically Woodland Hills hasn't run the option play since about 1992 when quarterback Mike Acey was at the helm. But, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the Wolverines are trying to do in this situation, being down and facing a 3rd and long.
Well, the punt unit comes on, and the punt unit not getting on the field with any sense of urgency either. As Woodland Hills has eaten up about 30 seconds before punting this football away. Sullivan Folia, the punter, running to his right, and he will boom it away. This ball carrying to the far boundary, takes a Woodland Hills hop, carrying inside of the 10 towards the 5-yard line, where the ball will be downed inside of the 5 at the 4. So a nice punt by Thomas Sullivan Folia turns the field. The problem is the clock not in the Wolverines' favor. Less than 7 minutes to play here. Central Catholic will have the football at their own 4-yard line.
Yeah, right now the most that Woodland Hills can hope for is a fumble or turnover of some sort that will give the Wolverines the ball inside the 10-yard line.
First and 10 for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. The ball at the 4-yard line. Central Catholic looking for their 3rd straight trip to the WPIAL Finals. WPIAL champions 2 years ago. Runners-up last season with a loss to Pine Richland. Stepping under center, quarterback Troy Fisher. And Fisher trying to carry it himself. He'll carry the ball across the 5-yard line out towards the 7. It's a pickup of 3. And it's 2nd down and 7.
Number 53, Miguel Cobbs.
Fisher with negative 18 yards rushing today, making it a minus 17 after that 3-yard gain. And the clock continues to wind. With an offset eye backfield behind Fisher. 2 receivers right, 1 to the far side left. Fisher is going to hand off. The tailback is Vinny Emanuel, and Emanuel will carry the ball across the 10 to the 11-yard line, where it's a pickup of 4. And it is 3rd down and 3 as a Viking slow to get up the 2nd time. Today we see Jacob Hinish slow to get to his feet for the Vikings. Along the near sideline, you can see Miles Sanders down on a knee. And you can only wonder what's going through the young man's mind. In 2011, the season ended with a playoff loss. In 2012 and 2013, the Wolverines losing to North Allegheny and Pittsburgh Central Catholic, respectively, in the WPIAL championship games. Last year, the Wolverines bowed out early from the WPIAL playoffs with a loss to Central Catholic in the quarterfinals. And barring a minor miracle here, Fred, Woodland Hills will fall shy of making it to the Heinz Field for the 11th time in program history.
Yeah, and it's very disheartening, for fans and the Wolverines alike, because this was the season that everybody had pegged that Woodland Hills was going to make it to the WPIAL final, at least, at the minimum, make it to the WPIAL final, banking on a championship. But, hats off right now to the Central Catholic Vikings, who have done everything they needed to do to get a 17-point lead late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they've bent but not broken defensively, and offensively they haven't done a whole heck of a lot. But they did put 3 points on the board, and as of right now, Fred, the 3 points by Central Catholic's offense has outdone the 0 points by the Woodland Hills, though.
Yeah, and all you need is one more than the opponent to win a ballgame.
Defensive penalty against Woodland Hills, an encroachment penalty will move the ball across the 15 to the 16-yard line, where it'll be a 1st and 10 for Central Catholic, and that gives them at least 4 more downs to kill some clock. Fisher will step under center with an offset eye backfield and 2 receivers to his left. Tight end to the right of the formation. The snap is fumbled, and it's on the floor. The Wolverines scoop it up into the end zone. Goes a Woodland Hills defender. Who is it?
Dana Wilson-Adams.
Dana Wilson-Adams with the fumble return for a touchdown, and the Wolverines are in business with 5:20 to play. Well, we have seen fumbled snaps by Troy Fisher today. And right there, the Wolverines turn it into points.
Yeah, and that's the 4th fumbled snap from Fisher. 2 under center, 2 in the shotgun. And that last one, really, Woodland Hills made the Central Catholic Vikings pay with the scoop and score.
So the fumbled snap by the quarterback, Troy Fisher. And it's returned by Dana Wilson-Adams for a touchdown. And the PAT by Thomas Sullivan Foley is good. Oh, no, it's no good. Wide left. And with 5:21 to play, Woodland Hills trails by 11 points, 17-6. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 17-6. An 18-yard fumble return for a touchdown by Dana Wilson-Adams, who we haven't talked about in a very long time, Fred. But the scoop and score there for Dana Wilson-Adams, and the defensive touchdown puts Woodland Hills within reasonable arm's length. However, Thomas Sullivan Foley missed the PAT. Woodland Hills obviously going to attempt an onside kick here with 5:21 to play in an 11-point deficit. Sullivan Foley booms it, and it will be covered up at the 50-yard line by Damar Hamlin. And now some pushing and shoving, and cooler heads will prevail as Damon Johnson took issue with something that one of the Central players had to say.
I don't know, it was so much what he had to say is actually what he did. And once Damon Johnson was on the ground, number 35 for Central Catholic, David Adams kept on pushing and shoving while Johnson was on the ground.
5:20 to go. Woodland Hills took advantage of a fumbled snap by Troy Fisher, and it was returned 18 yards for a touchdown by Dana Wilson-Adams. Fisher hands off. Vinny Emanuel trying to break it left. He'll slide through a tackle, but coming up and making the cleanup tackle is Damon Johnson. Emanuel has something to say. So does Damon Johnson. But both players will return to their huddles after that pickup of 4 yards for Emanuel.
And right now, Dana Wilson-Adams really is making his presence known, coming up from his safety position and forcing Emanuel a little bit more to the outside than he wanted.
And Wilson-Adams comes out of the lineup favoring his right knee, and Jawan Hill returns to the lineup for the Wolverines. High backfield as Fisher will hand off to Emanuel, and Emanuel will get back to the line of scrimmage no further. A quick whistle by the officials, and that will be to the chagrin of the Vikings fans, but the Wolverines fans all too familiar with that happening to Miles Sanders last week.
Absolutely. And right now, this kind of forces a decision for Central Catholic. Do you try to, pass the ball for a first down, or do you want to keep running it, which has been, running the ball, which has been largely ineffective against this Wolverine defense?
Saeed Holt slow to get up as he's shaken up around the 47-yard line. I think he had an offensive lineman come down on top of him after trying to make the tackle. Here's the scene. 4:18 to play in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 17-6. The Wolverines have 2 timeouts remaining. They burned a timeout early in the third quarter as they had driven the ball inside of the Vikings' 25-yard line. But Coach Novak needed a timeout to talk things over offensively. So that used one of the 3 timeouts Woodland Hills had here in the second half. Fred, Woodland Hills has used the defense to score today. We've seen the offense move the ball, but the problem is the Wolverines have turned it over 3 times inside of Vikings territory, once on downs, once by a fumble, once by an interception, and then a missed field goal.
Yeah, I mean, the problem they're running into happens to be the Central Catholic Viking defense, who's done a great job against the Wolverines, especially that bend but don't break mentality that we're so used to the Woodland Hills Wolverines using. Central Catholic has had a big dose of that today.
So Saeed Holt to his feet, being helped to the near sideline by the athletic training staff of the Wolverines. It's 3rd down and 6 for Central Catholic. The football at the Woodland Hills 45-yard line. The Vikings with the ball at this spot after a failed onside kick attempt by Woody High. Offset eye backfield behind Troy Fisher. Fisher watches the play clock wind down, under 10 seconds to play in the game clock, under 4 minutes to go. Fisher's going to hand off to Emmanuel. He's got a crease. He's got the first down. He's off to the races, 30, 25-20, inside of the 15, and he'll be spun out of bounds along the far sideline, inside of the 10 at the 8-yard line. And Fred, without a turnover here, this football game is basically over.
Yeah, and Central Catholic, what they really did was caught Woodland Hills there defensively in over a pursuit, over aggression. A couple missed tackles, and Vinny Emmanuel was able to keep his feet and picked up the first down and some more.
Emmanuel down to the 8-yard line, so it's a gain of 37 for Emmanuel, who now has 45 yards in total, according to my stats. Clock stopped rather as Emmanuel went out of bounds. Emmanuel will take the carry. He's inside of the 5, and he will cross the goal line for a Central Catholic touchdown. And the Vikings will be headed back to the WPIAL championship game for the 3rd time in 3 years.
Yeah, and again, another inconsequential touchdown late in the ball game is going to seal the deal for Central Catholic.
3:41 to play. Woodland Hills trailing 23-6. Jacob Rachi on to attempt the point after touchdown. And that PAT is good. It's his 3rd PAT of the game. His first PAT of the game was the game-winning score, unless Woodland Hills should score again. It's 3:41 to go in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills trailing Central Catholic 24-6. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. 3:41 to play. Central Catholic 24, Woodland Hills 6. Woodland Hills has not scored an offensive touchdown against Central Catholic since the 2013 WPIAL championship game. Both fan bases starting to pour out Fox Chapel High School as this game pretty much over, as Central Catholic well on their way to their 3rd consecutive WPIAL championship game. While Woodland Hills will see their season end prematurely for the 2nd straight year. Ball bouncing into the hands of a return man around the 15-yard line. It's Jaymond Dunn who will step out of bounds along the near boundary at the 34, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and certainly, the sideline for Woodland Hills is very dejected. The fact that, again, this was the season everyone had picked Woodland Hills to, do some special things, go to Heinz Field, win a WPIAL championship, and try to get that elusive state title. But again, your hats have to go off to the Central Catholic Vikings, who have just done a great job against Woodland Hills, especially inside their own 25-yard line.
Woodland Hills will break the huddle. Miles Sanders, the quarterback. Wolverines and the Wildcat. And the Wolverines have 5, 8, 11 men on the field. And the official threw a flag for 11 men on the field. Good to see he's on the ball. Fantastic.
We have an update. Penn Trafford 31, Pine Richland 27.
.336 to play in the fourth quarter as Miles Sanders looks left, throws left. The pass complete along the near sideline. The receiver, Christopher Wilson, and Wilson picks up 8 yards on the reception from Miles Sanders. Miles, his second pass attempt of the day.
And what the offensive line did for Miles Sanders, they really didn't do for Coop, was give him some time. And Miles Sanders really didn't take a lot of time to get this ball out of his hands. As soon as he got it from the center, he just loaded it up and threw it to the outside for the completion.
Trips right. One receiver to the near side left. Sanders in the shotgun. Sidecar to his right is Joel Shaw. Miles going to throw to the right-hand side. The pass complete to Hoots. He's got the first down. Driving his way forward towards the 50-yard line. He'll be brought down at the 49. And a pickup on that play of 7 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines.
Again, Miles Sanders, just as soon as he gets the ball from the center, sets his feet, and just delivers a dart. We always knew that Miles Sanders can run the ball. I mean, he's really showing that he can pass the ball as well right now.
Miles 2 of 3 today for 15 yards as Woodland Hills has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. 3:14 on a winding clock. An 18-point lead for Central Catholic. Trips left. One receiver right. Sanders looking left, throwing left, and the pass is intercepted with the pick. Damar Hamlin, and it's a loss, it would have been a loss of 1 had the pass been completed. Instead, a turnover, and Central Catholic will have the ball at the Woody High 48-yard line.
It wasn't a horrible pass by Miles Sanders, but the fact that, he threw it down the field a little bit more than he probably should have. It should have went probably at the line of scrimmage, maybe behind a little bit, to give Mac Hoots an opportunity to catch the ball and make a move.
Damar Hamlin with that interception. Hamlin responsible for the second biggest offensive play of the day for Central Catholic on a fake punt. As quarterback Troy Fisher will lower his shoulder, carry the ball inside the 45 to the 44-yard line as the clock continues to wind, and Woodland Hills trailing by 18 points.
Yeah, and I think just looking up to see if Woodland Hills was going to call a timeout, but I don't think Coach Novak's going to go that route.
I think Coach Novak realizes with an 18-point deficit and just 2 timeouts remaining and 2:25 on the clock, this football game is over. High backfield as Fisher steps under center. He will drive his way to the 42-yard line, a pickup of 2. And Fisher now with minus 11 yards rushing. And it's 2 minutes to go here. It's 3rd and 4 for the Vikings. The ball at the Woodland Hills 42-yard line.
And it's not inconceivable that Woodland Hills could actually get the ball back with some time on the clock.
30 seniors for Woodland Hills this year. The year that pretty much everybody anticipated Woodland Hills with their absolute best shot at winning a WPIAL title. But they come up short, not because the offense wasn't able to move the ball, not because the defense didn't play well, but because the Wolverine offense turned the ball over inside of the Vikings 25 2 times. They turned it over on downs a 3rd time, and a missed field goal ended a drive for Woodland Hills inside of the Vikings 20-yard line as well.
And not to mention a touchdown called back by Miles Sanders after a fake punt.
4th and 1 for the Vikings. Fisher drives his way forward. He's got the first down. He's still on his feet inside of the 20. He'll be brought down at the 18-yard line. That will do it, as Central Catholic will be able to take the knee and finish this football game after the pickup of 23 yards. Stepping under center, quarterback Troy Fisher. He takes the knee. Team carry for a loss of 1. And the officials will set the ball with 15 seconds to go. And this football game is over. Well, Fred, for the 3rd consecutive year, Woodland Hills ends their season with a loss to the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. And for the 2nd consecutive year, special teams play a big part in the football game. Turnovers play a big part in the football game.
Yeah, I mean, Woodland Hills had every opportunity to win this game and get back into this game. But, missed opportunities, I'm going to say, was the key behind this game. 4 times inside the Central Catholic 25-yard line, and which is, probably unheard of to Central Catholic fans, but the fact that Woodland Hills was unable to come out with any points in those 4 opportunities, it's very unsettling. I mean, as a fan and as a spectator and commentator, we're used to Woodland Hills being able to hit the home run ball, hit a long gainer, or score a touchdown, from anywhere they wanted to on the field, but that wasn't the case tonight.
We want to thank the Woodland Hills Football Boosters Association for their sponsorship of our playoff broadcasts all 3 weeks of the playoffs this year. In the quarterfinal victory, or rather in the first round victory over Hempfield, the quarterfinal victory over Bethel Park, and the semifinal loss here to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Miles Sanders, pretty decent football game today as he rushed for 111 yards. He did have a fumble as he was hit trying to pitch the football in the first quarter. Other than that, he had himself a pretty good football game. The defense played very well for Woody High, other than the final inconsequential touchdown for the Vikings. But we've talked about it already. Special teams, turnovers, and red zone ineptitude leads to Woodland Hills losing this football game.
Yeah, and like I said, it's very rare that we see Woodland Hills offensively shut out in this ball game. Essentially, Central Catholic came up with big play after big play after big play against the Wolverines, and really, when you're down in the red zone or inside the 25-yard line 4 times and come up with 0 points, it's kind of a mixture of really good defense and really bad offense.
Well, Fred, our hopes were a WPIAL championship this year, mostly because there were 30 seniors on the roster, and we knew that next season the cupboard is going to be reasonably bare, especially as far as experience goes. And when you lose 2 Division I running backs leaving your program, it's going to be tough to bounce back next year with virtually, 22 new starters.
Yeah, and it's going to be very tough. I mean, you're going to have to find replacements at running back. You're going to have to find a replacement at quarterback, a couple of good receivers, and then essentially your offensive line was largely senior-oriented. So, there's no doubt in my mind that Coach Novak and his staff will have the team ready for next year. The highlights might not be there right off the bat, but these guys are going to work hard in the offseason and get themselves ready for 2016.
And we will be back for 2016 as well on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills, their season ends with a record of 11-1, while Pittsburgh Central Catholic heads to the WPIAL championship game with a record of 11-1. The final score one more time, 24-6. The Vikings defeat the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Folks, on the television side, we look forward to talking to you again sometime next August or September. On the radio side, stay tuned for the State Senator Jay Costa postgame show. For Fred Guy, I'm Adam Gusky and our entire television crew. We'll talk to you again next year You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Vikings on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.